Servus YouTube, Chef here, back with yet another build, this time melee. I haven't done this type of build yet because the missing range is a huge backdraw for high champion levels, since any hit that we take will kill us instantly as usual. With that said, champion 9 is only a personal preference. Currently in the beta there is no reason other than challenge to do higher levels, since magic find and item level does not matter. We are using Bleeding Edge with the skill modifier Unstoppable, Momentum and Astral Orbit to counteract enemies while still dealing damage, and with the residual energy buff we also have a decent chance to freeze enemies, which gives us more survivability. The only spell that triggers residual energy that we use is Winter's Grasp, since you can only get the buff from spells to deal damage. So the other two spells, Ether Jump and Bulwark of Dawn, don't give us the proc, so we will always have Frost as our highest damage type, which makes our attacks freeze. Keep in mind, residual energy scales with attack damage, not spell damage. It takes the percent amount from your total damage and adds it on top, and the type is depending on the spell. That skill that we are using is Mark of Impurity, which gives us a huge damage increase. I'm not using the unique belt, the Trial, since we would lose out on flat damage from a normal belt, which results in around 3k smaller crits. Another option I played around with is Bladestorm. It has also decent mobility, but the problem with that skill is you have to stop in between to recast Winter's Grasp, Bulwark and the Mark, so it feels kinda clunky. And also the startup of Bladestorm cost a lot of rage, which combined with the constant cost of Bladestorm would make it so we would have a lot of white rage, so we wouldn't be able to make use of the highest damage increase in the game, Manic Slaughter. But this build works with any attack skill, so choose what you like, since you don't need to torture yourself like me and do high champion. Mobility is not as much of an issue. With the introduction out of the way, let's go over the details in the items, skills, attributes and passive sections. Items, chest and helmet as always with the Manic Slaughter affix on them. I really hope they nerf this in the future, it is absolutely busted. And best in slot for any build, since it scales attacks, spells and even ailments. This is a Servus affix which can be rolled on gear by Luring Untainted. You go to expeditions, add modifiers until the red bar is full. And then you get the option to Lure Untainted. The rewards you get at the victory screen will have those on them, and only those at the end screen, not the items in the chest at the end. Other stats we're looking for on here are Ferocity, Transfer Time and Cooldown Reduction. If you do low level Veteran, preferably with all res and health as well. Ranks, another Servus affix with the residual energy buff. Highest roll on that is 15%. Other stats we are looking for from highest to least important are 3 flat damage rolls, crit damage affix, as well as item specific affix from Steel Ring, socket and increased material damage. Belt and amulet, same affixes as the rings, without the residual energy buff though, since you cannot roll that on here. Main hand, a dagger, so we are able to cast Mark of Impurity, with also 3 flat damage rolls, crit damage and 3 sockets, and preferably crit chance. Offhand, the unique Magfast and Anti-Act for an additional residual energy buff. Shoulders with material damage, ferocity and rage cost reduction. Gloves, the unique Argon's Half. Those gloves are the rarest item in the game, so if you cannot drop them, go with the same stats as shoulders. Hands with Ferocity, Transfer Time Reduction and Cooldown. Shoes with Ferocity and Move Speed. Champs, offensive slot, anything with flat damage, highest roll on that is 8 to 12. Defensive, only important for low level grinding, since on champion 9 we get 1 shot anyways, 1 Sapphire for Leech, the rest Copperstone. On support, Silverstone, since the 10 to all attributes is more damage than the 20 to primary. If you like Transfer Time Reduction on gear, go for Cyanide. Skills, main skill is Bleeding Edge with the modifiers Unstoppable Momentum, Astral Orbit and Wicked Swing for utility. Optionally, instead of Astral Orbit you could take the Revolving Guillotine and Self-Adjusting Principle. Next skill, Winter's Grasp. This spell is the only one that triggers residual energy. With the modifiers Hail the Ice Queen gives you a small additional damage buff, Permafrost, Ice Pawn and Rime World for utility. Next skill, Bulwark of Dawn with Divine Omnipresence, Aegis of Hope and Everlasting Aurora for utility, and Blade of Truth gives us another damage buff, which is more potent than from Winter's Grasp or the other buffs from Thunderstrike, for example. But it does not trigger residual energy because it doesn't deal damage, which is good since we only want Winter's Grass to make our highest damage type Frost to apply Freeze. Next up, Ether Jump with much of the time Devourers, the Puppeteer and Escape Artist. Important here is that we do not take Spirits of the Void, since this would make Ether Jump deal damage and trigger residual energy, which we do not want. With that said, you could combine this build with the Terror build and make use of Immortal Offering, but it's already difficult to survive in high champ as melee, so I'm only going with Frost. And last skill, Mark of Impurity. Since this is the highest damage buff we can get from skills, you could make use of the unique belted trial to apply it on any damage dealt. But because it doesn't have flat damage on it, it's quite a huge damage loss. Modifiers are guild by association to make it so we only need to cast it once per mob group. Minimal resistance to freeze more often. Target eliminated and big game hunting for increased damage. Attributes. As always, everything in ferocity, since we want at least 30% crit chance. After that the score starts to fall off, but since now our primary attribute is ferocity, we want to spend the last points here as well, because your primary gives you the most bonus damage per point. Passives. We start off in the Soldier, grabbing every crit damage node, making our way down into the Assassin's tree, grabbing Merciless Lethality, up into the Scholar tree, into the Praetorian for the 2 crit damage nodes here and there. Continuing in the Scholar, making our way up, grabbing increased maximum resource on the way to the Warlock, getting residual energy and more maximum resources. Next part, going straight into the Sentinel to the Warmonger, grabbing every melee weapon damage node on the way to Manic Slaughter. And the Appetite for Bloodshed for more resource. And that's it for this guide. Hope you enjoyed. Tell me what you think. Also, if you appreciate the time and the effort that goes into this, leave me a like. Also subscribe for future Wolcen content. Also shoutouts to my fellow content creators Shef and servus. They made a website for easy access, and I will post all my builds on there as well. And as always, I'll leave you with more gameplay. Servus, YouTube. And yeah, so fast. Okay. I think the same map. Looks like we have spider map. The spider map in the crypt stairs, the spiders that shoot from afar. Usually deadly as well. Let's see if I can finish a run. Yeah, those dudes are pretty good. They don't deal damage, so it don't really matter to me. Shoulder. Always want to pick that up. I'm still missing. And shoulder gear I'm still missing. Perfect gear, yeah. Frozen. And there's this bot I was talking about, the one that shoots at you. Champion 90 is so difficult. Because anything just kills you, one-shots you, no matter what. Even my tank build can't do Champion 9. I like that. Enemies are level 75, so 2 levels above you. Would be kind of ridiculous if you're able to like survive a hit, too. Reach Chen on the kill. That's how about actually. Oh, don't do it, big boy. What just hit me, dude? Oh my god. Okay, it's our final. It's our last life. Oh, I can't do it. Man, look at all of that stuff, dude. All of that would kill us. Wow! Fuck. Side too late, dude. Oh, next. Yeah, exactly the reason why I never wanted to do a melee build. Because you need a range. It's definitely fun for a level veteran though. This is what I usually intend to build do. Clear low veteran. But yeah, most of fun in that, right? Gotta do at least champion 9. Gotta push it to the max. Push it to the limit. Yay! A trash unique! Woo! Are you not excited? Because I'm super not excited. Can't even tell you how much I'm not excited. There's no words for how much I'm not excited. A lot of anger in you. Ah, what a tune. Oh, there's a spitty boy. I'm spinning, I'm winning. Oh sir, would you like my axe to your face? There you go. Use the promo code shef to get a 0% discount on your next axe to the face. How do I open chests usually? They take way too long to open. Ooh, how did it not hit? Did you see that? One just spit directly at us. Should have killed him. It seems like enemies also have that bug where they don't deal damage. Lucky belt. Like 5 billion of these. Spitty boy, watch out! Wow. Alright, maybe we can kill the boss now. Big boy. I had to judge my rage. Well, that was my fault then. Got one more chance. I'm stuck. No, I jumped right into